Okay. Good morning. Welcome, everyone, to the Clean Energy and Transportation Industry meeting being hosted today by Greater Washington Region Clean Cities Coalition. We are just so excited. Uh, the year is winding down, but we still have work to do. I want to thank you for joining us. I know that you could be anywhere in the world doing anything else, but you've chosen to be with us. So we're just excited that you are here with us today. We have a nice and fantastic group of speakers as always, and they're going to share some great information with you about how you can support their efforts and how they can make this planet a better place for all of us with cleaner air that you can breathe and help reduce pollution and its negative impacts on your health. So we're excited about that. This has been a very busy year for Greater Washington Region Clean Cities Coalition. We've had. I want to just thank you, and we'll have a number of things that we'll talk about at our January 15th opening winter reception, our opening reception, where we kick off the year on January 15th. We've not had it this early in a while, so it should be great. January 15th, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. It is free. We are still looking for sponsors, so if anyone that's watching or would like to donate something or help underwrite the cost for our opening reception on January 15th, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. is going to take place at 899 North Capitol Street. Should be an amazing event. And we'll talk about some of the highlights from 2025 and where we're going for 2026. We will also be celebrating 15 years as a coalition, standalone nonprofit. We've been in the DC region has had a Clean Cities organization since 1993, but Greater Washington Region Clean Cities has only been around 15 years. So not only we have been around 15 years, and we're going to celebrate our 15 years kicking off on January 15th. And we're going to do things all throughout the year and culminate with a big conference in October of 2026. So we're excited about that. So make sure you put that on your calendar. January 15th, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Our kickoff reception for 2026. So we're really excited about that. Just a couple other things I want you to know about. The second is we are encouraging people to do two things. One, if you've not paid your dues yet for 2026, that you begin that process of paying your dues. And then secondly, many people are looking at how to make an end of the year donation, looking for organizations to do that. We are a nonprofit organization, so I want to see lots of emails coming in today saying that you made a donation to our organization. Put us on that list of people that you encourage people to donate to as well. 2026 is going to be, as I mentioned, a very busy year. A lot of policy work, a lot of projects. We have a number of projects that we are working on for 2026. Always looking for more opportunity as well, and just really excited about all the good things that we did in 2027. It has been a crazy year, but we made it through it. We're all still standing, and always, as always, want to thank you all as stakeholders and members and our staff, consultants, interns, and volunteers for making this one of our very productive years, right? We've had tremendous participation at many of our events in 2025, and we're just fine tuning things for 2027. We have a 2026. We have a number of summits, forums, ride and drives. We got an Earth Day event coming up on April 18th. You can save the date for that as well. We'll have our second annual Earth Day walk on the National Mall, Green Expo as well. So we have a very, very busy 2020 2026. Last thing I will mention is that we are doing a fleet survey around electrification. If you are a fleet manager, a staff person, or you own a small number of fleet, big fleet, 100 vehicles, 2 vehicles, 3 vehicles, fill out our fleet survey. It's in the chat. I'm going to take you about 5 minute, 2 minute short survey. If you can do that for us today, it'd be greatly appreciated. So I'm going to go and I'm going to introduce a few of our speakers for today. So we have a few speakers for us. We have Dr. Missing some things here. I'll just really quickly, Dr. Malcolm, Dr. Nima, Dr. Nima, he received his PhD in structural mechanics, Purdue University School of Engineering in West Lafayette, Indiana. He's been associate faculty of medical engineering in Purdue University School of Engineering as well. He's currently chairman of CAE net.com and advanced renewable power as well. We have Dr. Malcolm Fabi. Fabi, or I got it right, Fabi? Okay, I got it. All right. See, that's that Ghana education, University of Ghana, is renowned chemical engineer with a distinguished academic professional background. He holds a first class degree, BS first class degree in chemical engineering from the University of Lagos, Nigeria. All right. Neighbor, University of Chicago Booth School of Business, and a PhD in chemical and environmental engineering from Cambridge University in England. He holds numerous patents and has authored over 600 peer-reviewed conference and journal papers. He's super smart. Ron Bathias, advocate, promoter, has nearly 3 decades passion for leadership and solar and clean energy, graduate of Morgan State University as well. He is the founder of People for Positive Change, and he is a very active member of the Greater Washington Region Clean Cities Coalition, and does a lot trying to make sure resources get to where they need to get to. And he is plugged in not only with solar, but also with other clean energy initiatives, and just been a pleasure to work with him. And everyone, we're going to be on Capitol Hill the second week in February for a national fly-in, where we're going to have people from all over the country going up on Capitol Hill to advocate for policies that are important to the industry, and would love for you all to join us. The Transportation Energy Partners Energy Independence Summit that will be coming up as well. So come to our opening reception, but also make sure you go up on Capitol Hill with us. If you don't do anything else, it's free to go on Capitol Hill for the day. And I'll put that, we'll announce that date as well. So without further ado, I want to bring up our first speaker for the day. And I'll turn it over. I'm not sure. I don't have the presentation of who is first on here. Kim, is that Dr. Nima is going to be first, I'm assuming?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, all right. All right, Dr. K, Nima, floor is yours. I think we're going to do a video first, and then he's going to present, right? You have to unmute yourself.
Unmute, please.
Unmute somebody. Okay. I was unmute. Sorry about that. Thank you, Antoine and Kim and Ron as well. As Antoine said, yes, I have been not only got PhD from Purdue, I have been also teaching there for about almost 30 years. And in lots of areas of research, and particularly for the last 15 years, we have been involved in the three different companies. One is the battery for electric vehicles, as well as the renewable energy system. What you're going to see here today is the renewable energy system. We call it mobile power grid. And our focus has been really primarily on Africa, okay? Because that's the whole initiation and starting because we believe like cell phone today, the transmission line will be eliminated. So that's why there is no reason to send energy, let's say, from Texas to Indiana. So that we have this concept of mobile power grid for a community, which community could be a university, a church, or school, or just a personal house. So that's what you see about the mobile power grid. So we have one quick video that we have made, and also a quick presentation that I'm going to present to you. So let me, if you don't have any question, let me just share my screen if I can, see if I can activate the video. Let's see how it goes, and you tell me if,
By lack access to electricity.
let me just go from the beginning here.
Energy. It powers the luxuries that many of us enjoy. It generates jobs and enables businesses to grow. It powers homes, buildings, and entire cities. But in some countries, especially small rural villages, energy is scarce and oftentimes non-existent. 1 in 5 people worldwide lack access to electricity. It is a luxury that exists for just 2 to 4 hours a day at best. The need for power in non-electrified nations around the globe is estimated at $2.5 trillion. The governments of these nations are encouraged to invest heavily in infrastructure, housing, healthcare, and education, opening significant opportunities for energy development that will power homes and businesses and improve lives. Advanced Renewable Power, Performance Defense, 912 Institute, and XQ are stepping up to the challenge. They have partnered to power energy-deficient areas, each bringing their own specialty to create one powerful solution. Advanced Renewable Power is a leading mobile power grid company, creating solutions specifically designed for countries with deficit electric power grids. Mobile power grids are eliminating the need for transmission lines and national grids. Performance Defense is equipping mobile power grids with its communications gateway, connecting and exchanging data between units and our remote telematics system. 912 Institute is enabling 5G cellular communication, providing superior connectivity. And XQ is bringing its unmatched security technology, protecting mobile power grids from threats. Our mobile power grid systems generate power from wind turbines, generators, existing grids, and solar farms, and stores the energy until it is ready to be used. Install them on trailers, containers, or semi-trucks, and park them next to villages, large cities, hospitals, or military camps to provide accessible, sustainable, and efficient power. Our mobile power grids are quick charging, include intelligent battery management systems, drawing from our team's 300+ years of experience developing batteries and mobile power solutions, and are self-sustaining, with generators that run at 50 to 70% reduction in fossil fuel consumption. Our mobile power grids are capable of delivering 25 kilowatt hours to over 5,000 kilowatt hours, depending on need. This can power a small village or a school. And by bringing our mobile power grids to small villages and rural areas, we are creating many local job opportunities. Imagine what multiple mobile power grids can do. Our InfiniGrid solution is a smart grid management system that monitors, manages, and coordinates multiple local mobile power grids. Our innovative solution includes a specially engineered energy storage system designed to significantly increase the life expectancy and capability of the battery system, able to accommodate and incorporate most and any combination of renewable power sources. Provides external coverage by linking units together with an external unit to provide power to various zones within the designated area. Our solution can also provide excess power to already existing power grids that can use a boost. And our solution is equipped with a 5G-enabled secure communications platform to ensure continual monitoring and communications between units and our remote telematics system. Mobile power grids will receive schedules and system updates wherever they are in the world. When non-electrified areas have access to energy, they have clean water, safer homes, better schools, and thriving businesses. Energy powers opportunity. Partner with us to empower the world. Learn more at www.arptech.com.
Okay, I'm gonna stop the sharing portion. Now we can switch back to Kim if you can activate the presentation. We can go over quick a few minutes presentation as well.
Stand by.
You ready? All right, great. So as you heard earlier, Advanced Renewable Power, we have developed basically mobile power grid. And because even for agriculture, if you see in the next picture that you'll see also the storage system, because most countries, again, emphasis has been always, our focus has been for electrification of Africa and producing, helping them to produce more food and protect the food as well. So that's this particular presentation is for. And also mobile power grid can be used as a charging station as well for electrification. And could you go to the next slide, please? These are some of our people that you probably don't know, but we all have been in this business for at least 15 years. We started, actually, come to think of it, since it's the Washington area, most of the buses in the Washington area, there is a big box on top. That's kind of our stuff that we developed for those transit authority buses in Washington area. So we have been involved in that, but our name is always behind the scene. So next slide, please. This was made for really the investors as well. So 1.6 billion people, as we said earlier, don't have access to electricity. Also, education is the question, healthcare is the question, clean water is the question. That's really our solution to the problem. Again, outside the United States, as well as some areas in the United States. Could you go to the next slide, please? Now here you see the picture, and on the left you see our mobile power grid. This is actually the first one we built for Indiana 5G lab. So luckily it has been there for several years, flawlessly working. And also this application for that could be in the areas of storage. You see on the left bottom, the energy storage system, and also the refrigeration system that is for food protection. That's one area. Could also be used for communication, for the cell towers. It's just a unit that is designed for a community. Also in the areas of charging station for vehicles of the future, of course, and communication systems. So this is really our mobile power grid. Next slide, please. Now the market, as estimated by McKinsey, I believe, is about $4.5 trillion. What we do different, on the second, on the right-hand side, you will see the slide. We just enhance the access to the technology. Ours is the top right corner, and the currently is on the left bottom corner. That you'll see that mobile power grid, by eliminating the need for transmission line, we basically provide access to the electricity all over the world. Yeah. These are the numbers that you see from the McKinsey. Next slide, please. Some of the competitors, again, this presentation is made for investors. Ron mentioned there could be some people who are interested in investing and partnering with us. So yeah, we compete with some of these guys and sometimes collaborate with them as well. So next. Our goal and our hope is to build the factories of the future, to build mobile power grid. Again, we don't really directly communicate or sell stuff to the customer. We're looking for partners that, or we call them joint ventures, We're working with several joint ventures you see on the left side that we have been doing in the United States, in India, in Ethiopia. We're working with the government to see how it goes in Japan, in China. So, and that's really our business model, that we provide the technology and we license, we file patents and we license our patents to the partners in order for them to build what we call high volume production. So we are just a technology company. Go to the next one, please. And these are some of the agreements we have. You see on the top is it was the Minister of Energy in Ethiopia, and bottom we have in India, one of the largest companies, TVS in India, that we collaborate with them, and some of the technologies that we work with them, and also then in China. And as we speak, I'm doing some stuff actually for for China and Japan. So we have just not too many. We hopefully will have 10 major customers that they produce high volume production of our technologies. Next. Again, being in research, some of we get lots of government grants, lots of from our partners. You'll see on the left side, we have got several $1 million in the R&D in our company just for the research in battery. But we have another partnering company, it's called 24M Technologies in Boston. Those are the guys who are actually doing the production and high volume batteries and stuff like that. You may have heard the name, but we are closely working with them. And we are licensing some of our technologies to them as well. Next one. The funding that we are looking for, again, we are at phase one, roughly at the phase one of what we do, and the phase two, going to the production area, $12 million, and the high volume production, $50 million. Again, since time is short, rather than going through the details, I want to just give you the big picture. I'll be more than happy to answer any question you may have. I'm done with my presentation, Antoine.
Thank you. Great job. Great job. All right. Kim will go to our next presenter.
Dr. Famby.
Hi, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here, a pleasure to have this opportunity to share the work we do. If you can please prime the presentation, Kim.
One second.
Okay. Right. Thank you. So I'll be sharing with you today the work that we're doing on the decarbonization of transportation with what we describe as a mobile carbon capture solution. So if you go to the next slide. My company is called Optima Biome. And, as most people on the call know, given that this is a group that's dedicated to sustainability in transportation, the reality is that about 25% of global emissions come from transportation. That's about 8 billion tons of carbon dioxide emissions on an annual basis. And of those 25% of global emissions, of the 8 billion tons of CO2 emissions from transportation, about a third of them are from what we would define as hard to abate sectors. Those are the sectors that pertain to long haul and heavy duty trucks, trains, and marine systems. And the reason why they're hard to abate is because we currently do not have EV systems or sustainable fuel systems that can address the needs of this sector at scale. And so while we have a lot of EV solutions for passenger cars, small buses, the reality is that the penetration of EV systems in trucks is less than 1%. In trains is also less than 1%. It's even worse in the marine sector, where you have these really large engines and you're generating hundreds, if not thousands of tons of CO2 a day, which is less than about 0.1%. And the best estimates we have is that it's going to take at least a couple decades, maybe 2 to 3 decades, before we have sustainable solutions that can actually be scalable and be practical for these types of transportation modes. And so the question then becomes, are we just going to sit around and wait while these emissions continue to be pushed into the atmosphere? And the answer that we've come up with to that question is that no, there's no reason to wait. That while we're waiting for these more sustainable solutions, we can have stopgap solutions. And what our technology does is that while we know that fossil fuels will still have a place for the next few decades, the question that we are finding a solution to, and that we found a solution to, is the question of how do we make sure that we do not necessarily need to be pushing carbon emissions into the air while using fossil fuels. So if you move to the next slide, the solution that we've come up with is basically to develop carbon capture systems that can reside on the vehicle itself. And so what you're looking at is a typical powertrain for a Class 8 heavy-duty truck. Traditionally, you would have emissions coming off of the tailpipe going into the air, and it would have typically somewhere in the region of about 5 to 10% carbon dioxide emissions. But what if we could actually develop a solution, and this was the task we set ourselves, that could actually take those emissions coming off of the tailpipe, put in a system and a technology that would allow you to take those emissions and then filter out and retain selectively the carbon dioxide so that everything else that goes out becomes an exhaust that is carbon dioxide free. You retain the carbon dioxide emissions within the system itself. It's a bolt-on solution. It's an aftermarket solution. It doesn't matter what brand of truck or what brand of locomotive or what brand of marine system we're looking at. As long as it has a tailpipe, as long as it's using fossil fuels, we can actually put a system like this in place and capture all of those emissions. And if you're to do that, then there are certain things that you must be able to do, that your technology must be able to provide. So first of all is the small footprint. That footprint has to be remarkably small, because if you imagine in the context of a truck, the only space you have is between the powertrain and the trailer. The second thing is it must be robust. You must have the capacity and the ability to remove and to deal with the many other emissions and impurities that you would find in an exhaust. You would have particulates, you would have nitrous oxides, you would have sulfur oxides, you would have moisture, and the ability to deal with those systems are things that conventional systems, conventional ways of removing CO2 currently cannot handle. There's also the temperature to think about. So the exhaust can easily be anywhere between 200 to about 400 degrees Celsius. That's a really high temperature. And then finally, there's a question of back pressure. You need to make sure that whatever solution you put in place does not put up so much back pressure that it becomes difficult to accelerate or to reach the performance standards that you would normally have. That you don't have something, quote unquote, that's actually stopping the engine from being able to be revved full throttle. And what we've been able to do, so if you go to the next slide, is that at Optima Biome, we have developed exactly that type of solution. Our work has been funded by the Department of Energy under the previous administration. We've also won a number of innovation awards, mostly from Montgomery County, that has been helpful to us in being able to bring our technology to scale. And essentially, what our solution does is it just connects as a bolt-on solution to the back of any vehicle, any powertrain, any system that's burning fossils for moving fuels. The technology can also be utilized for things like HVAC systems. It can be used for cleaning biogas. Essentially, anywhere where you have a CO2 stream, whether those are hot gas streams, whether they are largely pure streams, whether they are impure streams, regardless of what the temperature is or the composition, we're able to then take a carbon dioxide stream, pass it through our system, and inside of these canisters that contain our unique filter system, and that's a proprietary solution that we've developed, we're able to retain the carbon dioxide in there. And all that we need to do once those systems get filled up, because this solution is modular, we pop off the units that are already saturated with CO2. And recovering the CO2 is really easy. We take that system that's saturated with CO2, we connect it to a heat source, and a pure stream of food-grade CO2 is released. If we go to the next slide. And essentially, our business model is simple. So to the left is the unique filter solution that we've developed that sits inside of those canisters. What that solution allows us to do is to effectively and efficiently capture CO2 in a small footprint system with a great degree of robustness and reliability. And we can do this across multiple transportation modes, whether it's trucks, whether it's rail, whether it's marine systems. But what's important is that across all of those systems, we're able to generate a food-grade CO2, which gives us options. We could take that food-grade CO2 and go sell it directly to Coca-Cola, Pepsi, for carbonation of drinks. We could sell it to people that are making dry ice, sell it to folks who are using CO2 for food freezing or other CO2 applications like greenhouses. Or we could take that CO2 and we can combine it into a biomass, leveraging waste that you normally find in any sewage treatment plant. So we are able to then convert that CO2 to a biomass material that we can then pyrolyze to form biochar to give us long-term CO2 storage. Or if we find ourselves, close to class 2 or class 6 wells where we can store the CO2 permanently, then we could do that as well. But the most important thing here is we have the capacity with our technology to actually take a waste and convert it into one of 3 options, one of which is potentially to be able to utilize that CO2 to displace other uses or other sources of CO2 right now in areas like food and beverage carbonation. What's important also is that our solution is actually really cost effective. So we're able to do all this for less than about $150 a ton. So our economics is in the $150 to $150 per ton range. And for those who might be curious about what CO2 costs are in the food industry, you're typically looking at costs in the $150 to $500 per ton range. And the potential to be able to take what is a problem right now and generate a revenue source out of it is actually something that a number of fleet systems are finding very interesting. The margins in the fleet industry are really low. Sustainability right now for many of them seems like a stretch, but potentially with a solution like this, what we found is that within about a 2 to 5 year time frame, the purchase of the unit, any hardware and services related to the unit, that's paid down within a 2 to 5 year time frame. And beyond that, the partners that we're working with would actually begin to yield a profit. So this potentially can be an additional revenue source. And what we're excited about is the notion that we can actually do well for the planet, do good for the planet, but also do well for the partners we work with in terms of potentially helping them to become even more profitable. So if we go to the next slide. The next slide concludes the discussion. So again, yes, the future has to be EVs, the future has to be sustainable fuels, the future has to be renewable natural gas and other types of sustainable fuels. But while we're going through that transition over those next 2 to 3 decades, we shouldn't have any excuses for still not being able to do the best that we can to ensure that while we're not net zero, we can be carbon free in terms of the emissions that are coming off of these fossil fuels over the next few decades. And that's a solution we're working on. We're excited about the traction that we're getting. And, I look forward to engaging with you and answering any questions you might have about the work we're doing. Thank you.
Thank you. And I want to just say, we greatly appreciate your leadership, your insight. Our organization takes an all of the above approach in terms of reducing pollution from transportation. We support all the different forms of alternative fuels. So thank you for presenting today. I want to go to Ron Bethea. We'll have questions for all the speakers right after Ron. Ron, the floor is yours.
Well, can you hear me? Okay, now, okay. Well, thank you for this opportunity, Antoine. Being a member of the Greater Washington Clean Cities Collaboration Group has been one of the over the 10 years since I started the Positive Change Purchasing Cooperative LLC, which stands for an organization which was designed to, in fact, increase market share for African and African American owned renewable energy companies to address the high energy costs at our historically Black colleges and universities. Also, to utilize Black owned farmlands and HBCU campuses to develop capacity and initiatives for renewable energy projects to bring down the underemployment of young African and African American men and women locally, nationally, and throughout the diaspora. Also, to educate the African and African American community about the economic impacts of climate change and how do we disseminate this information. So, the Positive Change Purchasing Cooperative, which I'm the founder and CEO, we established and set up a website, which is positivechangepc.com. And we established an online digital podcast, radio, YouTube, TV network, which we've had the opportunity over the last 10 years to interview African Americans in the solar and renewable energy industry in all forms of work, whether it be legislative, policy, or with boots on the ground, from the installers that are doing the installs to the electricians to the workforce development training components. But what I'd like to also share with those who are now our listening audience this morning is the fact that if you go to our website, you'll be able to click on our news and events tab. There you will find the most comprehensive database in the country targeted to communities of color as it relates to African and African Americans and folks of color who have developed all type of solutions to combat climate change. And one of the things that we have also done with our organization, if you go to our website, you'll be able to see that we have a online news podcast network. Then we had a podcast. Then we have radio shows that we've developed with various initiatives. But the things that I want to get to and share with our those who are listening is that we also have an affiliate partnership with various companies. And these companies are specifically run by African Americans, but they are national companies. One of those companies is called Clear Blue Capital, that provides all kinds of financial services and assistances in financing, from real estate to bridge loans for purchasing equipment for those who are in business. Then we have a group called the One Group, which is a outstanding firm that deals in international policy around renewable energy projects, and they put together collaborations between countries and investors for these type of initiatives. Also, in our partnership group, we have Imbalance, the one of the Imbalance Group, which here in the U.S. is one of the largest African American owned financing entities with the 504 loan program. And they've been building and investing in renewable energy projects nationally, which is run by Mr. Tony Henderson. So that sort of provides you with an overview of the things that we do here, as well as I've established a nonprofit organization, which I was the president of 5 years. We're a 501c called the National Association of Blacks in Solar. And we have recently elected a younger, dynamic leader by the name of Nathaniel Daly. And we're working on of various projects across the country through NABS. One of our also founding members, Mr. Will Shirley of Sundial Solar of Jackson, Mississippi, is one of our founding members. I think he may be listening to the show today, but he is the only African American solar installation and design firm in the state of Mississippi, and he's based out of Jackson, Mississippi. And we're working on, he's working on some very exciting initiatives with the University of Ghana. So just this, I mentioned this just to share to our listening audience. If you are a member of the Greater Washington Clean Cities Collaboration Group, we'll be reaching out to your companies to have you on our platform also to sort of provide the type of networking and collaboration that our organization has been able to put together. And I want to thank you once again, Antoine, for this opportunity.
Awesome. And I just thank you for all the wealth of information that you constantly put out related to programs and initiatives. But why don't we take our first question? I want to give Dr. Malcolm just a chance to talk about some of the technology. Has it been deployed yet? Are you looking to bring that technology to the DMV area and all that good stuff?
Thank you. And so we are in the process of finalizing our first commercial pilot deployment. That's been finished off right now. The commissioning of the pilot is going to take place in the first week of January, and we already have a partner that's lined up to be the first truck-based deployment of the technology. At the same time, we are actually having conversations with for another completely different use of the system. So we were approached by an independent power provider that is providing on-site power by burning propane for a major carbonation company. They generate about 60 tons of CO2 a day from those operations. And what this carbonation company is interested in is having the CO2 coming off of those systems actually cleaned up and utilized in their own operations. And one of the reasons why they're interested in that is it's in this particular part of the country, it costs about $500 to $600 a ton for carbon dioxide if they were purchasing that. And this solution would allow them both to reduce the emissions coming off of their power generating systems, but also provide them with some cheaper sources of CO2. So that's so we're excited about what's starting to look like a very interesting pipeline of opportunities coming up in 2020, 2026.
All right. Can we get a couple
Very quick, Antoine. Dr. Nima was being very candid in his presentation, but I wanted to mention to the listening audience that Dr. Nima's one of the affiliate companies, 24M, has developed an electric battery that will allow a electric vehicle to go 1,000 miles with one charge. And I think that that's something that has really excited me. And he has a video, and people can find that on our website. If they go there, they'll see conversation with Dr. Nima. They can click on that link and they can watch that video, which Dr. Nima did not present this morning. But anyway, I wanted to make sure I got that in. Thank you.
All right, thanks. We got a couple questions for you all. First one is from Will Shirley. Can we ask him, Mr. Shirley?
Let me unmute. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Okay. I have questions to both of these fantastic gentlemen. And Ron, I need to thank Ron Bethea for inviting us onto this platform, first of all. fantastic gentleman, been working with him for a very long time, has the resources that companies like ours need around these United States. But I have one question for both gentlemen. If I have a signed agreement in Ghana, working with the University of Environment and Sustainable Development on a project that they've been putting together, and the project is battery manufacturing, carbon capture, and also solar panel manufacturing. I need to know how can Sundial Solar and the University of Environment and Sustainable Development in Ghana start talking for the distribution of your products or implementation of your products into the goals and objectives of what they're trying to do. How can I, as the president and CEO of Sundial Solar, include your technologies in this process, which has support from various countries around the world, trying to meet the goals and demands of the Ghanaian national renewable energy goals and objectives. They've developed a master plan. How can Sundial Solar do that with you two gentlemen?
Who do you want to start? You want me to answer first, Antoine?
Yes, go ahead, jump right in. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just take a look at it. Well, we sit down and see what their needs are. And of course, everything always end up to be who's going to fund it and how is it going to be funded, right? We have invested lots of money in all three companies that I mentioned to develop these advanced technologies. But going to high volume and production, again, needs lots of fundings and collaboration and having what we would suggest in Ghana, in Africa as a whole. We talk to, as I said, Ethiopia to Nigeria. We need to put a team together and the manufacturing facility to produce it there, to teach them how to fish that. So not just shipping something from here to them. So that's really gets a bit involved in how we want to collaborate, who is going to fund it, how we train engineers. We just put a plan together like any other business.
Correct. Thank you.
All right,
if I-
Dr. Malcolm, you want to jump in?
Yes, happy to do so. So, I'll just build on what Dr. Nima said. In fact, right now I'm speaking to you from Lagos, Nigeria. So, I'm very familiar with the subcontinent, with the region. Very similar to what Dr. Nima said, it would be on a case-by-case basis. I think for the portion of it that would be relevant for the work we do, which is the carbon capture portion of it, there could be some interesting carbon credits opportunities that are also linked to that would be covered by things like the CDM mechanism from the UN or the Paris Accord mechanisms. So I would be certainly very happy to sit with you and to learn more about the projects and to see where our solutions can potentially provide some type of valuable play. So very happy to engage and to learn more about those types of collaboration possibilities.
All right.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. And excuse me, sir. So I will be leaning on the Clean Cities group and Ron Bethea to get me y'all's contact information so we can have some initial conversation about this.
And I wanted to mention that next year, September, I am going to be participating in a clean energy summit in Ghana, the first around Labor Day weekend. I will make sure that you all get that information as well. And I'd love for you all to participate in that global summit in Ghana on clean energy next September. All right, we're going to take our final question because we're running out of time. We only have 9 minutes left. I'd like to, I'm not sure who this is. Delois Babaker. Hello?
It should be on mute.
I don't know who that is. All right. Well, they can put it in the chat. They didn't respond. So I'll give you each of you like 1 minute to give some closing comments.
Well, since I sort of brought everybody together, I want to sort of close. My closing comments are this. We understand that the Biden-Harris administration, through the Invest in America agenda, in fact, was the largest investment in the history of this country, $1.3 trillion. We also are aware of the fact that the current administration has clawed back and has repealed many of the investment tax credits for our corporations that have invested billions of dollars in this country. Matter of fact, we have 77 corporations that's invested $133 billion in projects already in the U.S. in manufacturing and various projects. The fact of the matter is, these corporations did not disappear. These projects did not disappear. And if the creator, because there's a wrong and there's a right in the universe, and I believe in karma, and I do believe that we have to fight on to combat climate change. So with that being said, it's about our kids and it's about our future. And thank you once again, Antoine, for your leadership and this opportunity to bring these two brilliant gentlemen to your platform and give them this exposure. Thank you.
Thank you. We're going to go to Dr. K, then we'll wrap up with Dr. Malcolm.
Okay, well, thank you again. Before we say goodbye, as you see here, we have invested very many years, and these things don't happen overnight. Almost 20 years on research and development and lots of funding, personal funding, family funding, and all the other stuff. So we have technologies that work, and we have proven that work. I mentioned some of them to you. And really, right now, we're looking for partners to go next step for volume production. Investors, investments, partners, engineering companies. So that's where we really need help to get to the next phase of our business. And we're ready and more than happy to help and work with you.
Awesome, Dr. Malcolm.
Yes. So again, thanks for the opportunity for us to share our story with you today. What excites me is just the fact that there are solutions. We believe that we have a solution that works, and a solution that doesn't only work, but also allows us to find a pathway to making sure sustainability can also be profitable. And I would echo what Dr. Nima said, which is that for companies like his and mine, partnerships are essential. And we're grateful for platforms like this that allow us to essentially share our story with others that have similar passions. And I'm open to, and we're
Just have one quick question, Antoine.
opportunities we want.
Is this being live streamed to YouTube?
Yes, it is being live streamed to YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook.
Okay, I'll try to pull it up. Thank you.
I'm sorry, Dr. Malcolm, you were still talking.
I apologize.
No, that's okay. I was actually just, I was wrapping up, so I'm done. Thank you.
All right. Well, let me say thank you all for joining us. I did put in the chat October 22nd, 2026. We'll have our Clean Energy and Transportation Conference at Martin's Crosswinds in Greenbelt, Maryland. So save the date for that. Dr. Malcolm, hopefully you and Dr. K can come to town, and we'll have a number of sessions there. Maybe you could bring one of those nice vehicles with all that renewable natural gas on the back as well. We'd love for you to come out as well. I also want to just say a couple quick things again. Save the date. January 15th is our opening reception in our opening reception, which will take place at 899 North Capitol Street. It is free. You do need to register for the event as well. We will also have the year is wrapping up, so I have all these wonderful people on here today. So make sure you go right to our website at gwrccc.org, go under opportunities, but I'll put it in the chat as well. You can make a end of the year donations to the organization, which is tax deductible as well. And of course, we always are looking for members. We are a membership-based organization too. I want to thank all of our team members who helped put on our last webinar for the year. We do have an event that's being held at our building next week on Impact. If you want to stop by, just let us know. I think it's next week from 9 to 2 p.m. at the office. But other than that, everyone have a wonderful holiday season. Be safe, be blessed, and as you wrap up the year, make sure you put GWRCCC on your Christmas list or holiday or Kwanzaa or Hanukkah list as well. So without further ado, have a wonderful day. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.